There is a rise on the inhale of the pelvic abdominal area, the chest. And when we exhale, we are seeing also the fall of the chest, the abdomen, and the pelvic area as well. It's just the inner dance of our body, bones, muscles, connective tissues, internal organs. And while you are on this quick and very simple exploration of how your breath is working throughout your body, I want you to connect to what is the ongoing change or benefit that is happening right now. And we're going to do this for every single asana that we will practice from this point on.
Hey, quickly, can you slow the speech down just a bit?
Okay, beautiful. Okay, now I got full screen. Awesome. So, let's begin with our hands on our knees and circular motion. I am intending my best to move from this hinging point of my hip creases. This is a warm-up for my pelvic hub and, of course, my spine. Simple circular motion. Why? Because I want to create some gentle warm-up on my spine from the lower levels and up. Opposite direction, same circular motion. Remember, constantly connected to your breath. Easily swaying from side to side. In Thai massage, usually we call this bamboo rock, right? And then add a little bit of that kelp seaweed kind of motion to the spine, right? It's early times in the morning, at least here in New York, it's early enough, right? So my body still feels a little bit stiff. So this is a simple motion that I can create to hear how my spine is resetting itself. Now gently slow down, and with the tip of the nose, we create a gentle circular motion. And then we create that circular motion with the chin to the shoulder, to the chest, opposite shoulder, like you're looking to the side, and then tilt your head slightly back and looking up and continue. You can do an amount of repetitions of this circular motion. It doesn't matter, your body is wise enough to tell you how much is best. Opposite direction. Good, and we will lengthen the head with the spine. There's a simple yoga asana, right, that we call extended yoga mudra. We're going to do this extended yoga mudra just for a few breaths, just for the sake of opening lower body, hips, tailbone, lower back. As you see me seated here on this half lotus pose, extended yoga mudra can be easily applied by connecting fingertips to the ground and easily walking your hands forward. Some of us may need to relax the shoulders and ground the hands and stop here. Some of us may be able to ground the forearms, the elbows. Some of us may be able to simply walk the hands forward and even relax the forehead on the mat. I forgot to mention at the beginning, of course, in the nowadays on the yoga practices, there's such things like yoga blocks. If you have yoga blocks close to you, or any pillows that you can, pile up and maybe use in the following fashion to support maybe your forehead and your head and your neck in this fashion I am showing here, you can actually apply. It's really nice and simple, but it offers the support that your neck, base of the skull, shoulders, trapezius, the whole spine may require. And then, of course, we're looking forward. We gently walk our hands back, we are lengthening head and spine, and lengthy spine comes up. Our bodies, right, need the following motions: forward folds, back bends, side bends, and then twisting, all right? So let's practice a simple sequence that we call the circle of love. So I'm going to actually give you the side view of this circle of love. so that, of course, you can get as much information from my body as I enact this as possible. Palms together as in prayer pose. This is an inhale. I interlace my fingers, projecting the palms of the hands forward as I exhale. Some of us may even be able to hunch up the spine a little bit, right? The upper spine for extra stretch on the upper spine, upper back. And then we can inhale and reach up with both arms. We can exhale, open our arms to the sides and interlace the fingers behind our tailbones. You see, I'm a skinny, long Puerto Rican guy right here. So my arms are really long. So I have to extend my arms to an extent where, of course, it feels comfortable enough for my body here. According to the length of my arms, then I apply this posture. My thumbs are pressing on the ground for some of us because we may have certain issues on our bodies, right? Of muscular or structural sort. We might just need to press the fingertips on the mat. For some of us, just simply this, placing the hands on the ground. But if you can interlace fingers, press the thumbs on the ground, and then roll the shoulders back, and look how my body language will change now. Right? A little bit lengthier spine and head in terms of alignment, which is really important. We're going to now try our best to inhale and bring the thumbs off the ground during the inhale. So pecs, sternum bone, right? Rib cage, collarbones will get the benefit of this. Opening our arms to the sides and forward again. Palms together. Inhale again, prayer pose. Exhale, repeat with me. Interlace fingers, extend your arms forward. Reach up. Remember the purpose, follow along with my movement, the purpose of doing this yoga asanas, these movements, is to not only open our bodies in a physical level, right? Benefiting ourselves, I mean, in terms of internal organs.
Ash, can you speak a little bit slowly?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So we're also affecting, in a way, the subtle aspects of what we are, right? Take a deep, long breath. Open our arms, right? We open our arms to the sides and extend them forward, palms together. Take a deep, long inhale again, prayer pose. One more repetition. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open your arms to the sides. Interlace your fingers behind your tailbone. Press the palms of your hands together. You can remain on this stage of the pose. You can simply bring your arms slightly off the ground. And open your arms to the sides and again, forward. Inhale, prayer pose. We're going to do half of this repetition of the circle of love so that we can add a little bit of side bend and twisting. So, again, I offer you my front view. Follow along with me. Reach up with both arms. The heels of your hands are pressing up, right? The palms of your hands are pressing up. A little bit of side bend here could be practiced by releasing the interlacing of the fingers, connecting the left hand to the ground, then the forearm and elbow, reaching beyond the crown of the head with the right arm. And you see the beautiful alignment that I am creating along this right side of my body. Also, I'd like us to face the palm of the left hand down as if the pinky finger, it's projecting itself slightly down towards the head's direction and then beyond the head's direction. Now take a deep, long inhale. Interlace your fingers, press the palms of your hands up again to kind of reset evenness on the stretch of the upper body. And the right hand touches the ground, then the elbow, my left arm reaches beyond the crown of the head. Something to keep in mind in a yoga asana like this is that I don't sink into my chest and neither glue my chin to the chest. I want to create length on the spine by opening, by generating openness, and observe this on my chest. Sometimes I can do this gesture. I can touch my sternum and then throughout my pec, follow through my shoulder and reach up with my left arm. Again, facing the left hand towards my head or towards my ear and then reaching beyond the crown of my head. I'm going to hold this pose for another 2 more breaths. Always keep in mind that you can hold your yoga asana from 5 to 8 breaths, okay? Now, because we have a little bit of course, time constraints, I'm trying to at least be more in demonstration of this, right? So take a deep, long inhale. Reach up, both arms. Interlace your fingers. We can also practice this side bends with the following dynamic. We exhale, we can count to 5, maybe to 8 as we enter the pose. We can hold the pose, maybe holding the breath at the end of the exhale. Inhale, and again, we can count up to 5, up to 8. Slowly entering the yoga asana. And at the end of the exhale, we may hold the pose, holding also the breath. One more time. Holding the breath is a moment that also generates a level of mental stillness. Therefore, helping us with full fidelity record the information that we are right now giving our bodies. Now, interlace your fingers, press the palms up, and like to finish the circle of love, let's say, we open the arms to the sides, interlace the fingers behind the tailbone, roll the shoulders back, try to keep your spine and head lengthy, right? Alignment is very important. And let your hands move above the ground as you inhale. Let your arms rise a little bit behind you. Open your arms to the sides, extend them forward, and inhale again, the prayer pose. I will again use half of the circle of love of repetition. So that we can enter twists for the spine now, right? So I'm going to bring my left hand onto my right knee and my right hand behind my tailbone. So this is the front view of the pose that you are seeing now. I'm going to switch it up a little bit for you so that you can appreciate also the side view of this pose, which is very important. So once I happen to be here and I entered my twist, these are just gestures that I just do. I romanticize the practice a little bit sometimes, right? So my movements do carry a narrative, right, of where I am at with myself, my level of strength, my level of maybe weakness, right? And of course, for where I am at, I accept myself at the moment, period. It's not nice to be living in any kind of denial, right, or rejection of where we're at. So the spine lengthy within that upward spiral dynamic. This is what we're creating throughout the spine. We're going to hold this pose for another 2 more breaths. Mindful of the leveling of your shoulders. I mentioned I have very long arms. This is why I place my hand back here, but always in line with the sacral bone line. See? I can press my fingertips. I can press the palm of my hand. And again, I easily release my twist. Again. And the right hand touching the left knee, the left hand touching the ground behind me. Here, I select the distance between my back hand and my tailbone, and look what happens to my shoulder. You see the shoulder line? You see the gentle upward redirection of my sternum bone, let's say, chin slightly to the chest. You may look towards the side. You may also look towards the wall behind you. So what we're doing is simply preparing our physical aspect, right? Our physical body to be in a beautiful, healthy, functioning state, so that when we enter meditation right after, we can feel that our bodies are actually in tune with our inner longing, inner desire, right? To go deeper within this that we call our lives, right? Through the medium of meditation. Take a deep, long breath, release. We're going to do it twice more, of course. We're not going to stay in the yoga pose for too long, but at least just to accomplish those 3 repetitions that we've been doing for each pose. Of course, there is a level of beauty that we are intending to embody as well when we practice. But again, not to be vain about it, that's not the ultimate goal. But the aspect of beauty is also very important because it speaks about how we are actually finding that aspect of beauty within our lives, within ourselves, and we are creating the embodiment, right? As we say, you know, anandamurti, the embodiment of bliss. Well, in this case, we want to also be the embodiment of beauty within ourselves. And I feel it is really important. We own up to the beauty, the inherent beauty that we have and that we are. And what better moment than doing this through asana practice? Not everybody loves themselves or their bodies. So, you know, it's just the kind of perspective that I share with you. Take a deep, long breath. Good. A little bit of forward fold and back bend. So, 2 simple poses. Good. I am really tight. I'm in New York City. Lately, of course, like a lot of us, we've been indoors most of the time. But usually I am on a bicycle or walking around the city, teaching my corporate yoga classes and meditation classes, like everywhere around the city. So I'm always really tight. I'm walking around so much, I'm riding the bicycle so much that my lower back, my legs, especially in these early times in the morning, they're always really tight. So you can see how here, while practicing the seated staff pose, this Dandasana, you know, not that I'm really struggling that much, but you can see my lower back, it's slightly slouched. So I'm not going to fight against my body to go into a seated forward fold. Still, I keep in mind the following and engage supportively. My toes pointing up, my inner ankles inwardly projecting, and the outer edges of the feet outwardly projecting. I think we call this eversion, if I am not wrong, right? So we're basically, and look at the gesture of my hands, we're basically opening the outer edges of the feet, outwardly projecting the soles of the feet, the plantar aspect, forward. When I do that, just creating that mechanic on my feet already engages my shins, my quads, hip flexor area. So I already have the support self-sufficiently on my lower body to remain in this beautiful seated staff pose. I could also do this. I could do this, right? But for a seated forward fold, I reach forward, I intend to hinge at the level of the hip crease, hip flexors, and until I can rest my fingertips on the ground, my hands, and again, I'm not pressing my chest against my legs, not at all. I'm super tight this morning, and I honor myself where I am at. Here, relax my shoulders, my head. One of the purposes of this practice, right, at least as I guide it to my lovely, beautiful people, is that we can feel what we're doing, that we can feel what we are doing. And as we feel what we're doing and we are breathing through it and we remain consciously aware of what's happening in the right here, right now, we can manage to assimilate the ongoing changes and benefits in the moment of this conscious action, right? Because it just becomes mechanical stuff. If I am not present in the moment, noticing what's really happening, how my body is on the spot, changing and generating benefits, right? Now take a deep, long breath. Release this seated forward fold, this Paschimottanasana. Always check in with yourself. See how your body feels. You don't want to feel under pressure when you are actually applying yoga asana. Are there challenges inherent to where your body's at and what you want to achieve? Yes, be with them, all right? Gradually apply, accordingly apply. That is a kind advice, and I always say in the corporate field here in New York, is my kind disclaimer also, right, for some of my people. Now, back bend. So we can, you see, press the feet on the ground, legs hip width apart, and slowly to strengthen our core, right? Our base, our pelvic and abdominal area. We can slowly uncurl the spine as we lie on our backs and we ground the feet. So I had to tie up my hair today because it's a total mess, right? So I have a bun right here. I will show you fish pose, still with my bun right there on the middle. But remember, when you are doing yoga asana, try to be as comfortable within your head and your body as possible, all right? So, talking about comfort, right? Let me just move objects away. And fish pose, we can apply it in so many different ways. I want to show off for a quick second and show you something really quick right here. Usually fish pose, right? We would apply in the following way, Matsyasana, right? And we would cross our legs in this like lotus pose that you see here. And then we would grasp onto the big toes and press your elbows. And as your knees descend, you can arch your spine and ground the crown of the head on the mat. The drishti, or the gazing point, could be on the tip of the nose or in between your eyebrows. Now, a simpler version of this Matsyasana, right, this fish pose could be the following. Legs extend down, the palms of the hands touch the sides of your legs or your hips. Why? Because this inwardly rotates my humeral bone. This outwardly rotates my humeral bone and allows my shoulder to be a little bit more backwardly rolled, which facilitates my fish pose in a way that I can feel open on the heart chakra, right? Anahata. So I just want to feel like I press on my elbows, and then what happens here? Slow motion. You see what I'm mechanically doing here? And this could be a fish pose. So you are anchoring yourself on the glutes and tailbone, on your elbows, which are going to help you press down so that you can bring the sternum bone a little bit higher, arching the spine a little pinch deeper, and of course, the anchoring point of the crown of the head on the mat. Breathe deeply so that you can feel that your lungs are expanding and deflating with freedom and might. Let's take another 2 more breaths. We can now press the elbows, gently engage core, uplift the sternum, bring the chin towards the chest, and look at this real lengthening of the spine. For some of us that feel like, well, fish pose is too challenging for me, a bridge pose does the job. Feet hip width apart and parallel to each other. Knees hip width apart, knees on top of your ankles. Then next comes the following steps. They're so simple. I spread my toes, I root my feet, pubic bone rises, tailbone tucks under, because that tucking under of the tailbone and pubic bone rising, it's how we manage, right, to redirect the pelvis, in which I will feel hip flexors and quads stretching, right? This is very important that these muscles are also open and stretched, because it liberates the pelvic and lower spinal aspects of our bodies, right? Anterior and posterior aspects of them. So we bring the pelvis up, we interlace the fingers underneath the tailbone, we roll the shoulder blades in, and we let the pelvis rise. Firmly press the feet on the ground, engage your core. When we say engage the core, in the Sanskrit, we usually use the term bandhas, right? Places of support or engagement or locks, which would be the base, pelvic, and abdominal area, I would say, generally speaking. And of course, you can hold this bridge pose for 5-8 breaths. We're going to release now. Relax the shoulders. And Bhastrikasana, right? Bellows pose. We hug the knees to the chest, forehead to your knees. You can just hold the breath at the end of your exhale, or you can just be here and anything related to, of course, the benefit of your nervous system, digestive system, internal organs overall. I mean, every yoga asana is giving us a plethora of benefits that are beyond our understanding, right? Now, beautiful. You can relax your feet on the mat. Take a few breaths. And of course, we can roll onto the right side. We can come to a comfortable seated position. And I'm going to use the next minutes for a quick self-massage, all right? Next week, we're going to do a little bit of a longer self-massage relaxation session. But to begin with, on a nutshell, fingertips tapping on the head, on the scalp area. We want to wake up our nervous system everywhere, wherever it's at, right? And it's everywhere. So why not? We're also, and we do this with our hands, forehead, eyes. I always go from the center and outwardly, right? Like a lymphatic drainage. Let's put it this way. We've been producing plenty of lymph, right? Hormonal chemistry in our bodies. And what we want to do is actually kind of drain that as well, because there's, regards to energy production, there's residue, or yeah, let me just call it residue, and sometimes debris that we have flowing through our bodies, toxicity that has not been actually cleansed. And this is a good way to actually do that. So you see the movements that I am creating, right? With my hands on my neck, on my throat area, on the base of the skull, the shoulder, trapezius area, right? I can do the following on the shoulder, on the arm, right? Circular motions. The wrist, my hand, my pecs, right? I would always do this on the pecs towards my heart. And on the other side, self-massage is very important, right? Because it allows our bodies to cleanse. It allows our bodies to feel prepared for relaxation. What we've been doing right now comes along with a process of assimilation on the go as we go from pose to pose, breath to breath. The abdominal area, right? So from your right side, transverse, and down to the left side. That's the directional peristalsis of your intestines, right? So we're going to create that. Look at your own body. I'm not mirroring you on this right now. So it'll be from your right to your left side, right? So, and I was saying, I lost the thread right there. I'll connect with it. Anyway, so self-massage. Indeed, you definitely want to generate this so that your body creates proper cleansing. Let's go now to the thighs. Actually, before we go on to the thighs, I shall not forget, kidney area. You can place your fists like this and create circular motion on the kidney area. Mid-spine, lower back, maybe glutes, a little bit of tapping, right? Okay, I got it. I was talking about the integration. So we are going to the inner thighs and the thighs. So when we are on the go, breath to breath, pose to pose, we are integrating the benefit and the changes, knees, that are happening as we apply every asana. We do self-massage. This is also part of that assimilation, right? Assimilation process on the feet. When we do relaxation, that's a total different level of integration of everything that we have been giving ourselves in terms of asana practice. The soles of the feet, you can close your fists with your knuckles, massage. And clouds, right? Now, let's do the opposite leg. Plenty of lymph nodes, like on the groin area, inner thigh. You can squeeze them if you wish to, right? You can do this with your hands. And just kind of rub on the sides of your thighs, top and hamstrings. Also the knees, circular motion, so the top and the back of the knees. Now, what happens here? And now, relaxation. My beautiful people controlling this lovely call. How many more minutes can I take? Please, advice. It's 9:45 right now.
So we're gonna have a 5 minutes break after asana and almost a 30-minute kirtan and meditation and 1 hour lecture. So I think we have 5 to 7 minutes left.
I'm going to take 5 minutes for relaxation. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. So everyone watching right now, what I would like us to do is literally lie on your back. Corpse pose. Once you lie on your back, I will ask you to allow yourself to enter a beautiful, willing state of sweet surrender. Close your eyes. Practice a little bit of releasing and letting go. Breathe freely. Breathe with this one longing to love. And somewhere down the line, you know that love is our ideation at the beginning of the practice. Bhava Nam Ke Balam. Bhava Nam Ke Balam. Love is. We can translate it to this, right? Love is. Come to the extent that the knowingness within you is that love is. And even surrender your longing. Because you know that it is part of you. It's already in, and you are here today. Because you're longing towards love, to this divine love that we are looking for, right? It's already here. We're just allowing ourselves not to block our own paths from bringing this love closer to us. Or we can also visualize it in the way of we are simply unblocking all the paths that lead to love so that we can be the closest possible to what I mentioned earlier on, right? Be the embodiment of love, and along with love, everything has beauty, compassion, service, everything, everything. Breathe gently, sweetly, deeply into every part of your body, a complete yogic breath. It carries no efforts, but just simply your presence. This is where we start integrating at a deeper level the stretches, the squeezing, the strengthening, the toning, the releasing, the letting go of what? Of everything that no longer works, of everything that may be part of a past, or everything that may be part of a future that is not here yet. We simply let go of anything that prevents us from enjoying, right? Living the embodiment of love. There was a reason why, Baba was called Anandamurti, right? So it's always beautiful to let this beautiful awareness of the Anandamurti being in our hearts for infinite amount of reasons. So we will all connect to all of these reasons as we go along. As you take your next few breaths, of course, this is a shorter relaxation today. Usually and ideally, as Baba recommended, we would allow ourselves, of course, to be in relaxation mode 10, maybe 20 minutes if we have that time available. But again, this process, if done wholeheartedly, in 5 minutes or 20 minutes of relaxation, will help us integrate a great extent of what we have worked through, yoga asana, etc. Okay? There's always a benefit to this reassurance. I give you that. I'd like us to take a deep, long breath into every part of our bodies. Deep, long, fabulous, fulfilling. Inhale through the nostrils. Exhaling through the mouth. And as you take your next breath, stretch your arms, your legs, move your fingers, your toes. Pretend you're a child right now waking up in the morning. And I'd like you to open up. And easily then, of course, hug your knees to the chest. Rock your body from side to side. Extend your right arm beyond the crown of the head and fully roll onto the right side as in a side-laying position, right? As in a fetal position. And then easily come to this comfortable seated position. And once seated in this half lotus pose, I offer you greatest love and my deepest, most sincere namaskar.